fog hat.
We'll see.
Knowing that the Outlaws played here today.
Oh yeah.
The Cowboys out there.
Cowboy song. I played this song in Rage. Yes.
Are you out there?
All right, man.
We played Cowboy song.
This is for all the
Just a
cowboys.
cowboy.
We gotta get Jimmy in the mood here.
Lonesome on the trail.
This is some mood music.
I am just a cowboy.
Oh, yeah.
I never heard of Thin Lizzy till I got rid of
Lonesome on the trail.
Love Thin Lizzy.
Yes.
So you said you played this in Rage.
What?
You played this song in Rage.
Yeah, we did.
Let's get to Rage was pretty big, but let's get to Alias Man.
Well, that's when let's see. I'm trying to think of what transpired there. There was a gap, and then I quit playing for just a little while or something.
You
and
got married, right?
I don't remember that.
Oh, okay. It was right around there.
Yeah, I got married 3 years ago
Oh, well, okay. You got really married.
to a real woman.
Yeah.
Oh!
Boom.
Hello.
But
Boom Shanka.
something happened there, and then Rusty was playing. There was a band out of Winston called Merlin. He did that for a while, and then that I fizzled. I think I try to remember. My memory banks don't click some
That's
things.
because you've been awake for.
But yeah, I've been up for now 42 hours. But no, I'm doing good. I can stay up for 2 or 3 days now. It's no
Good
big
God.
deal. I don't even need any drugs or anything.
I'll be destroyed tomorrow.
I'm professional.
Brian says he's grumpy if you don't get his beauty
He's
sleep.
grumpy. He's grumpy. But that's when I got in the band. It was me and Scott Board
Right.
and Rusty, and a bass player's name was Brian Teal, and then there was the drummer. That's when Terry Baker,
Yeah.
he was the drummer.
Is
And
that also the one known as Terry Von Head?
that's the future Terry Von Head Rattler. And we had a band called Deffen, Deffen.
Oh, okay.
And we used to play at Beatty's, opening up for Nantucket.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
And
You opened up with us too, so you knew those guys already.
yeah.
Okay.
And PKM, I forget who all we did shows with. But it was a good band. We did all that 80s stuff except Judas Priest. Scott could sing that stuff really good. But he was doing the thing, which I'm sure when he was on here, he talked about Cerebus.
Or like Dave calls Cerebrus.
Cerebral.
How are you?
But
I remember somebody corrected me. The
yeah,
first
we'll get to the Alias Mangler nickname in a minute.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
But yeah, we did that stuff good. I mean, people dug us, but Scott really wanted to do the Cerebus thing. He was into that. So
And he was the drummer. Last week he said he went from being the drummer to the lead
yeah,
singer.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And then me and Brian
Yeah.
and Terry wanted to change the name of the band to Alias Mangler. I come up with that name because I used to play this game at the club. It was like a video type game, and me and a few guys were real good at it. I can't remember the game now, but you had to have, you put your name when you logged in. And the one dude was a karate instructor, so his sign-in name was Sensei something. Anyway, I don't know how, but Alias Mangler popped in my head when I had to sign in on this game. So I thought, well, that's a cool name. I'd like to call a band
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So me and Terry, who worked together on our jobs, our day jobs, I mean, we were all the time cutting up on this day job. It was a crazy place to work, Caraway. But
Oh, yeah.
Caraway Furniture, and then
Stop it!
the other guy, they didn't care too much for that name, so we said, okay, well, we'll go over here and do our own little thing. So
Yeah.
that's when me and Terry and Brian Teal, the original bass player in Mangler, we got this guy Danny, who they knew, Danny Hutchins. He was a singer, and we got him, and we said, okay, we're going to do the Mangler thing. And the main reason I wanted to do it was because we had been to Raleigh previously when I was down there visiting some people, and they had this big Battle of the Bands at Dorton Arena, which is a coliseum at the fairgrounds. They'd have like 25, 30 bands competing in this Battle of the Bands thing.
Yeah.
And you got to win the prizes and the recording thing and all that. I said, well, hell, I want to put together a band and go down there because most of the bands I saw at this thing weren't that good.
Yeah.
I said, I can put together a band and go down there and whoop ass. So we put this thing together, did some stuff. Brian Till, the funny thing is, Brian Till, the original bass player, he was going through some personal stuff, and right before we were supposed to go down and play this thing at the arena, he decides he wants to quit the band. I mean, it's like a week or two or a few weeks before we were going to go do this thing. I mean, the biggest thing that we were working towards. And
let me guess, it was a chick.
No, I forget what it was. He was just going through some stuff. I don't even remember. But anyway, that's when I first met Jackie Wilson, who's been on y'all's show too. Jackson J. He gave me this guy Kelly Rousey's name, and he said, "Call this guy. He's a bass player,
AKA Otto."
That's Automatic, and I called him. He was interested. He came over. We worked on the songs and all this stuff, and
this was a week before the contest.
It wasn't. I can't remember exactly, but it was a short time, like a few weeks or so before we had to go down there and play in front of. I mean, there's like 4,000 or 5,000 people at this thing.
God.
And
how
there's
many
30,
songs did you have to do? Just one, or?
I'm trying to remember. I think we had to do like four or five songs. They had two stages set up. One band played on this stage, and as soon as that band finished, they started the other band.
Cool.
Okay.
And it was in the arena, and we went down there. We made up had these banners made up. They were in these frames that had big Alias Manglers in yellow, which all the people that we worked with at these plants would come see us and supported us. And a bunch of them came down there. We got up and did our thing, and at the end of the night, they kept saying they were announcing this and that, and they'd say, in second place was this band. And we were like, shoot, man, we ain't even going to place in this thing. And then the next thing you know, they said, and the winner from High Point, North Carolina, Alias Mangler. I mean, everybody went friggin' nuts.
Wow.
Yeah, because we got to do the recording of the album at CMC Studios in Zebulon.
Yes.
And all this stuff, and we had a huge party back at the hotel room. I mean, the hotel room, you couldn't even move. People was in there partying and stuff. And that's basically was the start of Alias Mangler, was when we won that contest. And
so how long was the Mangler together?
Really only about 4 years.
Oh, okay.
From 84, 85 to about 87, 88, somewhere along in there. And we played.
He was just waiting on me to graduate high school.
Yeah. And we played different shows with. We did stuff with Nantucket because they were big back then, and PKM.
Yeah.
Forget other at Beatty's and Rittenhouse, and we went down to Fayetteville again. Greensboro had some clubs back then.
Yeah, there used to be a lot more clubs than there are nowadays.
Yeah, but you couldn't make any money though back in those days, especially playing original music, because we played like 50% of our stuff,
right.
50% cover, and
but still the rock stuff was big. You
well, everybody listened to the same stuff.
Yeah,
everybody listened to AC/DC, Doc, and Rat. Same style of music. Judas Priest, Motley Crue. Yeah.
Did you guys play at the?
Your singer was really good at the Crue stuff too, right?
Yeah, he did Crue good, and AC/DC pretty good, and our stuff, of course, which was okay. Some of our stuff, we were just starting out.
Yeah, I heard some of it. What was the one about the drive or something driver or something like that?
Oh, that was going to be on the second album.
Yeah.
We recorded a whole second album that we never released.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got it on CD.
I think you let me listen to it years ago.
Yeah. I had a guy that was going to do something with it, but that fell through.
Well, you got that stuff on Reverb Nation, is that right?
I don't really know. Somebody,
or
I've been
iTunes
on every once in a while I'll go on Google or whatever it is and just punch in Alias Mangler, and all this stuff, Alias Mangler.
Yeah.
And all this stuff will start popping up, and people have posted our songs on YouTube. There's not a video; it's just the logo doing something, and then the song plays.
Yeah.
Right.
And then there's stuff we're in the Encyclopedia of Metal and all this stuff, because there was only 500 albums pressed, so later on it became a collectible thing because of the limited edition of it and what it was, an independent band pressing 500 albums. And I've seen at one time I saw a couple albums go for $200 and $300 on eBay.
Damn.
Yeah, especially over in Germany, Greece, South America, Japan, places where there's a lot of people that collect metal, vinyl, 80s stuff.
Yeah.
Because vinyl back then was the thing,
Yeah.
But Mangler was off the chain. People,
That's
High Point,
some of the-
man, everybody in that area knew of us. When we played, it was an event.
Yeah, I heard that. Jackie said you guys had like all this pyro. And
Oh yeah, we used to blow up stuff. I got videos of my brother-in-law blowing up the power at an outdoor show. We'd start playing, all of a sudden, boom, the whole screen would go blank, and the power would go. He'd overload the
like
pyro
our-
cannons.
Sounds like
Oh,
our
yeah.
shows nowadays.
Yeah.
Except we just blow out the speakers.
It was crazy. But
Wow.
the craziest thing, and there's a guy in not Walkertown, Wahlberg. His name's David Walker. He's a guitar player. David's a cool guy. But he come saw us, and we used to do this thing where Terry would punch through. I would lean back on the drums underneath his tom. He didn't have any bottom heads. He would punch through the top head and grab me by the hair and pull out a handful of hair.
Jesus.
Oh, my God.
And
Wow.
hold it up at the end of the last song, and then people would just go
Oh,
nuts.
man.
But it was a trick to the whole thing. It was like what he would do. I hate to give away the trick, but I'll do it anyway, just so you know. He would slit the drum head a little bit because it would take a lot to actually
sure.
punch through.
That's the way they do in wrestling with those tables. And
Oh, yeah.
They cut them.
And he would take some hair from a wig, and he would have it in his hand.
It's like different color.
Yeah, it would look like he just pulled out a whole handful of my hair and held it up. And
Red.
it was wild. Look, he would put glitter all over his cymbals and water. And a lot of times, bands you're opening up for, they wouldn't let you do stuff like that. But back in the
Right.
day, Nantucket
It was
was
all
like,
about a show.
yeah, Nantucket was like, y'all do whatever you want to do. They
They're
were cool
Nantucket,
about
they don't
it.
Did you
care.
guys
Yeah.
ask them, or you just did it?
Oh, we would ask,
Oh, okay.
I've always, asked somebody, this is our thing. Can we do it if it's okay? And most bands, if they're cool, they say, sure, y'all do your thing. We do our thing. We didn't try to screw anybody that was opening up for us. If they,
I do.
Yeah.
we give them whatever, all the lights, all the sound, it didn't matter. If you're good, you get up there and do it.
When we open for bands, our thing is we leave and they get pissed off and shut down at 12:30.
That's it.
We won't mention any names, but
That's it.
That must have been before we were banned from hams.
Band.
From hams.
banned from hams.
So the Mangler, you guys kept the same lineup for 4 years, or
Yeah, no, we didn't change anything.
That's
Everybody started going through, at that age, everybody started going through marriages and
And that's when
kids
all the problems-
and personal problems and drug problems and money problems.
But
and
is that about the time you had your medical? That's when you had your
no, that was in early 90s.
Oh, okay.
That was after that.
That Jimmy had cancer, so
Yeah.
That was in early 90. I was in, I had, the company had laid me off, and I was going to GTCC for paralegal.
Oh God,
Wow.
Perry Mason.
And,
He's got a new
yeah.
stage name.
and it's it, Perry Mason.
Matlock.
Iron Nut.
Yeah.
Who said that?
Damn, I missed my cue.
But,
She did.
yeah, that thing, and
What
then
we're
it
dealing with here
finally
is
we did all that other
complete
recording that we
lack of
never did
respect
anything
for
with.
the law.
Because the club scene changed back then too. The big thing that changed everything and the money. A lot of bands were making good money, but what happened was the drinking age changed from 18 to 21.
Oh yeah, I remember
Oh, that's
and
right.
a lot of clubs went gone
Yeah, because I got the rug pulled out from under me.
Yeah.
That sucked.
in Goldsboro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that just for us playing original music. Younger people seem to take more to original music than older people do. It just it just sucked the wind out of everything as far as a lot of the club scene went. I mean,
what's your opinion on the scene now? How much it's changed from back then?
Oh, well, the main thing now is there's such a variety of music that people in the clubs like.
Yeah.
Back then, most everybody listened to basically the same
Rock
style
or
of
country,
music.
and country wasn't half as big.
Oh no!
When I first moved out here, country was the shit. That was the biggest thing.
Well, you can play both
What year was
kinds of
that?
music. That's country and western.
Yeah, 91, like 91,
Yeah,
92.
yeah.
Garth Brooks,
Yeah.
Alan Jackson.
That's when metals was starting to die.
Well,
Yeah,
but
well-
metal was still big, but I mean, it was on its way down.
Yeah.
And then 92 or 93 is when Nirvana hit, and that was the end of Warrant, Poison. I mean, not the end, but I remember going over to Greensboro and watching Motley Crue, and I mean, it was on a Tuesday night, and there wasn't nobody.
Yeah.
The parking lot was empty, and I was like, "Damn, man, what a couple of years ago, this,
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's the main thing now. That to me, you walk up to anybody in a club now, and everybody listens to
Kanye
country or rap
Well,
or
country
rock
is like
or.
back. I mean, even bigger than it ever was. I
And
think.
there's dudes that listen to heavy rock that listen to rap, or people that listen to rap that listen to country,
Yeah.
and they want to hear this or
Yeah.
that. And being a cover band, it's
You
hard
gotta
to
play a
please
little bit of
everybody.
that,
I mean,
and then you still can't.
yeah, we do.
Yeah.
In Fair Warning, we play a big variety, but that's
Try to.
yeah. I mean, that's what you got to do now.
Speaking of
Pleasing people.
pleasing people, let's
please
please some of
somebody.
our sponsors and
And take a short break and
Can I get pleased? Y'all got any?
come back. And we're going to.
bag shaved.
I like
And then we're going to be right back with Mr. Hinson. He's going to wrap up his story on his